Pydantic AI lets you enforce model behavior per step through capabilities that return dynamic model settings. And the code below shows a custom abstract capability that inspects conversation history to decide whether a specific tool must be called before the model is allowed to proceed. The RequireFirstCall class, subclass's abstract capability, stores a tool name on initialization and provides a getModelSettings method that returns a callable inspecting CTX, messages for ToolReturnPart entries matching that tool name. If the tool has not yet been called, the callable returns model settings restricting tool choice to that single tool. Otherwise, it returns an empty model settings. The agent is constructed with the OpenAI GPT-5, toModel and the RequireFirstCall capability wrapping the getWeather tool, which is registered via at agent tool plane with a simple city parameter and a return string. The capability's getModelSettings callable is resolved per step, giving it access to the full run context, so it can read the model request messages and their parts to determine whether the weather tool has already been invoked successfully. From Pydantic AI Import Agent, Model Settings, Run Context. From Pydantic AI, Capabilities Import AbstractCapability. From Pydantic AI, Messages Import Model Request, ToolReturnPart. Class RequireFirstCall Abstract, Capability None. Force, tool name, to be called successfully before anything else. Definite self tool name, SDR none. Self tool name equals tool name. Def get model setting self. Def settings text, run context none model settings. Called equals any. Is instance apart, tool return part and part tool name equals self tool name. For message in CTX, messages. If is instance a message, model request. For part in message parts. If called, return model settings. Return model settings tool choice equals self, tool name. Return settings. Agent equals agent OpenAI, GPT-5, 2. Capabilities equals RequireFirstCall getWeather. At agent tool plane. Def getWeather city, SDR. Return fsunny in city. This capability subclasses abstract capability to gate model behavior per step via getModelSettings. It inspects CTX, messages for a tool return part matching the target tool name, and if found, returns empty model settings to let the model choose freely, otherwise returns model settings with tool choice restricted to that single tool. The agent is instantiated with this capability, and the target tool registered via at agent tool plane. The hook into run context gives per step visibility into what the model has already done, which is why this works across multiple steps rather than locking the entire run. Returning a callable from getModelSettings instead of a static model settings avoids the baseline validator that would reject restrictive tool choice values on the initial agent setup, since capability-supplied settings are resolved dynamically each step. Let's break it down line by line. From Pydantic AI Import Agent, Model Settings, Run Context. Imports agent, model settings, and run context from the Pydantic AI framework for agent construction, model configuration, and runtime context access. From Pydantic AI, Capabilities Import AbstractCapability. Imports AbstractCapability from Pydantic AI. Capabilities, the base class for defining custom agent capabilities. From Pydantic AI, Messages Import Model Request, ToolReturnPart. Imports model request and ToolReturnPart from Pydantic AI. Messages, for use in handling model requests and tool return data. Class RequireFirstCall Abstract, Capability None. Defines a class named RequireFirstCall that subclasses abstract capability parameterized with none, establishing a custom capability type. Force, Tool name to be called successfully before anything else.
A docstring specifying that a tool called toolName must complete successfully before any other actions are taken.
Definite self toolName, SDR none.
Defines a class constructor that takes a string parameter named toolName and returns none.
Self toolName equals toolName.
Stores the toolName parameter as an instance attribute on self.
Def get model setting self.
Declares a method named getModelSettings on a class that takes no explicit parameters beyond self.
Def settings text, run context none model settings.
Defines a settings function that takes a run context with no dependencies and returns model configuration settings.
Called equals any.
Assigns the result of the built-in any function to the variable called. The function evaluates an iterable not shown on this line and returns true if any element is truthy, otherwise false.
IsInstanceApart, ToolReturnPart and part toolName equals self toolName.
Checks whether part is a ToolReturnPart instance and its toolName matches the current object's toolName, yielding a Boolean true only if both conditions hold.
For message in CTX, messages.
Iterates over each message in CTX. Messages, binding the current message to the variable message on each loop iteration.
If isInstance a message, model request.
Checks whether the message object is an instance of model request, a Pydantic model representing a model request with fields like parts, timestamp, instructions, and runid.
For part in message parts.
Iterates over each part in message parts, assigning each part to the variable part on successive loop iterations.
If called.
Checks a Boolean variable named called and enters the associated block if it is truthy.
Return model settings.
Returns a new model settings instance, instantiates the settings object with default values, and exits the containing function.
Return model settings tool choice equals self, tool name.
Returns a model settings configured to force the model to use the tool identified by self tool name via the tool choice parameter.
Return settings.
Returns the settings object to the caller.
Agent equals agent OpenAI, GPT-5, 2. Capabilities equals RequireFirstCall get weather.
Creates an agent bound to the OpenAI, GPT-5, 2 model with a RequireFirstCall capability, enforcing that the first tool invocation must be get weather.
At agent tool plane. Def get weather city, SDR.
Registers a tool named getWeather on the agent that accepts a city string and returns a string, without requiring access to the agent context.
Return Sunny in city.
Returns a formatted string inserting the value of city into a weather message. The RequireFirstCall capability wires together 3 things that only make sense together. AbstractCapability gives you the hook point, getModelSettings gives you the per-step injection point, and returning a callable instead of a static model settings is what lets you defer the decision until each step runs, bypassing the baseline validator that would choke on restrictive tool choice values at agent construction time. Run context then feeds the full conversation history into that callable so it can scan for ToolReturnPart entries matching the target tool. If it finds one, it releases the model with empty model settings. If not, it locks tool choice to that single tool via model settings tool choice equals self, tool name, The agent itself is just the glue, instantiated with OpenAI, GPT-5, 2, and the capability, with Get Weather registered through at Agent Tool Plane. The tool does its job, the ToolReturnPart gets written to the message history, and on the next step, the callable sees it and steps aside. That callable return pattern is the linchpin that makes this per step gating actually work without fighting the framework's setup validation.
The gate that reads its own return from the scroll of messages before whispering any other tool through.